Hello, my dear friend. Welcome to the VUS Learning English podcast. My name is Anna, and I am so happy you are here with me today. This podcast is a safe and quiet place. It is a place for you to learn English, slowly, and with a happy heart. Today, we have a very special topic. It is a topic full of hope. It is a topic full of promise. We will talk about how to learn English, especially for beginners, and we will talk about your plan for the year 2026. Thank you so much for choosing to listen today. Thank you for giving your time to this. You're doing something wonderful for yourself. If you enjoy our time together, please think about following or subscribing. When you do that, you help other learners find our little community. It is a small click for you, but it means a lot to us. I'm always curious about you. Where are you listening from today? Are you in India, or Mexico, or Thailand, or somewhere else in our beautiful world? Let's begin our journey together. Let's talk about the year 2026. Maybe you have decided this is your year. This is the year you will finally learn English. You can see it in your mind. You can imagine it. You are in a coffee shop in a new city, maybe London, maybe New York, and you order your coffee in English. You feel confident. You feel proud. Or maybe you are watching a movie, your favorite movie, and you understand the jokes. You do not need to read the words at the bottom of the screen. You just listen and you smile. Maybe you are thinking about a new job, a job with a company in another country. Learning English can help you get that job. This is a beautiful dream. The picture in your mind is very clear. It is bright and full of hope. But maybe I can guess something. Maybe you do not know where to start. Does that sound true? It is a very common feeling. So please know you are not alone. Maybe you feel like you are in a big ocean of apps. There are so many apps for learning English, and every app says you will be fluent very fast. They promise you will learn in one night. But you know that is not true. Learning takes time. Maybe you scroll on YouTube. You watch many videos. You see top 10 tips to learn English. But after watching, you still feel lost. You know some English words, but you don't know how to make a real conversation. You do not have a clear path. You worry. You worry you will waste another year. You worry you will spend money on the wrong things. And you worry you will end up in the same place. Feeling frustrated, feeling confused, feeling like learning English is for other people, but not for you. My friend, I want to tell you something. What if there is a simple map, a step-by-step plan, a plan that can take you from zero English to having conversations, a system that helps you know exactly what to do, where to put your energy? In this episode, I will share this plan with you. It is a plan that helps many English learners find success. This is not just another list of tips. This is your complete guide for 2026. So please stay with me. Let's walk this path together. Okay, are you ready? Let's talk about this roadmap. What is a roadmap? Think of it as a journey with 4 steps. This journey will build your English skills. It builds them in a way that feels natural. It builds them in a way that helps you remember. We will not use the old ways of learning. No more painful memorizing. No more long lists of grammar rules you forget tomorrow. No more lists of random words. Instead, we will build your English like a house. Imagine building a house. You cannot start with the roof. That is impossible. you need to start with the ground. You need a solid foundation first. Then you build the walls. Then you can add the roof. Our roadmap has 4 important stages, 4 essential steps. Step 1 is the mindset shift. Mindset is how you think and feel. In this step, we will change your brain a little. We will stop studying English, and we will start living English. This is the most important step of all, and it is the step many people miss, so we will start here. Step 2 is the foundation. This is the strong ground for your house. Here, we will focus on what is most important. We will learn the most common words, the words you hear every day, and we will learn the simplest sentence shapes. This will give you the most power for your effort. Step 3 is the input engine. Input is listening and reading. I will show you how to build a daily routine. A routine of listening and reading that feels fun. It will feel like entertainment, not like a chore. And finally, step 4 is the output activator. Output is speaking. This is where we help you start talking, not in 1 year, not in 6 months, but starting today. We will do it in a way that builds your confidence, not your fear. This roadmap is your way out of feeling confused. If you follow it, you will learn to communicate. That is the real goal. Let's get started. Let's talk about the first and most important step. Section 1, the mindset shift. From studying to living the language. Let's be honest with each other for a moment. Like good friends. Why did it not work last time? Maybe you tried to learn English before. You started with a lot of energy. You were so excited. You downloaded a new app. Maybe you even bought a textbook. For 1 week, you were amazing. You studied every day. But then, life happened. The notifications from the app became annoying. The grammar rules in the book felt confusing. They did not feel real. You tried to say one sentence in English. You felt a little silly. You made a mistake. And then a little voice inside your head whispered. It said, "See, you cannot do this. You are not a language person." Does this sound familiar? My friend, the problem was not your app. The problem was not your book. The problem was your mindset. Most of us learn English with a student mindset. We think of English like a school subject, like math or history. We think we must be perfect. We think we have to learn every single rule first. We think we must earn the right to speak. We are very, very afraid of making mistakes. Because in school, mistakes were bad. Mistakes meant a bad grade. This mindset is the biggest problem. It stops you. It creates fear. It creates hesitation. And in the end, it makes you want to quit. To succeed in 2026, you need a big change, a new way of thinking. You need to have the communicator mindset. What does a communicator do? A communicator is a person who shares ideas and feelings. They focus on one thing, just one thing. They want to get their message to another person. They do not worry about being perfect. They worry about connection. They want to connect with another person. Think about a small child, a toddler learning to talk. Do they study grammar books? No. Do they wait until they know 1,000 words? Of course not. They point at things, they make funny sounds, they make a million mistakes, and they learn by trying. They are not afraid of sounding silly. They just want to communicate. They want to ask for milk. They want to show you a flower. You need to have that same energy, that same spirit. Your new idea is this. Communication, not perfection. Please say it with me. Communication, not perfection. Let's say it one more time. Communication, not perfection. This is your new mantra, your new powerful thought. Every mistake you make is not a failure. It is not a bad thing. A mistake is data. It is information. Imagine you say, I go to the store yesterday, and your friend says, oh, you went to the store? You did not fail. You just got a free English lesson. It was a real, live grammar lesson. Your brain collected that information. Your brain will use that data to fix it for next time. It happens automatically. The people who learn to speak well are the people who make the most mistakes. Why? Because they are the ones who are trying the most. They are the ones who are speaking the most. Mistakes are a necessary part of learning. You must accept this. You have to be okay with making mistakes. I have a story for you, an analogy. Learning English is like learning to swim. You can read every book about swimming. You can watch every video of a great swimmer. You can memorize the science of water. But you will never, ever swim until you do one thing. You have to get in the water. And when you first get in the water, what happens? You will splash. You will feel clumsy. You will probably get some water in your mouth. But that is the only way to learn. It is the only path. Speaking English is getting in the water. Your first conversations will feel awkward. That is okay. That is normal. You are not giving a performance. You are not on a stage. You are practicing. So, how do we make this change in our minds? Here are 3 things you can do today. First, change your goals. Your old goal might be become fluent in English. But this goal is too big. It is not clear. It can feel scary. Your new goals should be very small. They should be actions. They should be things you can really do. For example, a new goal could be, this week I will talk for 1 minute every day about my favorite food. Another goal could be, today I will learn 3 new phrases. I will try to use one of them. Or maybe, this month I will have 1 5-minute chat with a language partner. It is okay if it is a mess. You see, these goals are small. They are achievable. You cannot control when fluency will happen, but you can control if you practice for 5 minutes today. Small, consistent actions make big progress over time. A little bit every day is the secret. Second, change how you talk to yourself, your inner voice. When you catch yourself thinking, I sound so stupid, or my accent is terrible, I want you to stop and change the sentence. Instead of, I sound stupid, please say, I am being brave. I am communicating in a new language. Instead of, my accent is awful, please say, my accent is a sign that I know more than one language. It is part of me. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you practice positive self-talk, the stronger your good feelings become. The biggest judge is usually inside our own head. So let's be a kind judge, a friendly judge. Third, surround yourself with the right kind of English. Don't just follow perfect English teachers. Follow people who are also learning. Find people who share their journey, the messy parts, the mistakes. Join a community where mistakes are okay, where mistakes are a good sign that you are trying. When you see other people make mistakes and be okay, it gives you permission to make mistakes too. It shows you that you do not have to be perfect. This change in your mind, from a scared student to a brave communicator, this is your real first step. It does not cost any money, but it changes everything. Before you download one app, before you buy one book, you have to decide. Decide that you are willing to be imperfect. If you can make that promise to yourself, you are already halfway to your goal. Now that our minds are in a good place, let's build the foundation of our house. Section 2. The foundation. The core. 1,000 words and basic sentence structure. Okay, our communicator mindset is ready. We are feeling brave and positive. Now it is time to start building. We are not building a huge fancy castle on the first day. No. We are building a small, strong, useful cabin. This is your foundation. The foundation of a language is not thousands of grammar rules. No, it is about mastering the simple things, the things that give you the most power with the least effort. This is the 80-20 rule of language learning. What is the 20% of work that will give you 80% of the results? The answer is 2 things. 1. High-frequency words. 2. Basic sentence patterns. Let's start with words. So many beginners make a mistake here. They open a dictionary, they try to learn words from A to Z, or they learn random lists of words. Colors on Monday, animals on Tuesday. This is not a good use of your time. It is very slow. You might learn the word for elephant, but you do not know how to ask, where's the bathroom? Which one is more useful every day? The secret is to focus on high-frequency vocabulary. What does that mean? It means the most common words. The words people use all the time. Scientists have studied this. They found that the top 1,000 most common words in English make up about 80% of all everyday conversation. This is amazing news. This is a wonderful shortcut for you. Just 1,000 words can help you understand most of what people say. So that should be your first goal. Not 10,000 words, not 5,000 words, just 1,000 words. It is a clear and possible goal. But how you learn these words is very important too. Please stop using old flashcards. The ones with an English word on one side and a translation in your language on the other. This creates a bad habit. It makes you translate everything in your head. This makes speaking very slow, and it does not feel natural. You see an English word. You translate it to your language. You think of a reply in your language. Then you translate that reply back to English. It is a lot of work. It is tiring. Instead, you must learn words in context. You must learn them inside real sentences. Let's take the word important. Don't just learn the word important. Learn a full phrase like, this is important. Or learn a full sentence like, I have an important meeting. When you learn the whole phrase, you are not just memorizing a word. You are learning its grammar. You are learning how people really use it. So where do you find these 1,000 words? You can search online. There are many free lists of high-frequency words. But your best friend for this is a tool. It is called a spaced repetition system, or SRS. That sounds technical, but it is simple. It is a smart flashcard system. The most famous program is called Anki. Anki is free, but many new apps have this system too. SRS is like a smart friend. It shows you a word right before you are about to forget it. This timing is very special. Science has proven this is the best way, the most efficient way to put information into your long-term memory. So here's your action plan for vocabulary, your plan for learning words. First, find a list of 1,000 high-frequency words online. Second, choose just 5 to 10 new words from that list each day. Only 5 to 10. Nice and slow. Third, for each word, find a simple, useful sentence. You can use a free website for this, like Reverso Context. It shows you real sentences for any word. Fourth, create your smart flashcards, your SRS cards. Put the English sentence on the front. On the back, you can put the translation, or even better, a picture. Pictures help you think in English. Fifth, spend 15 to 20 minutes every single day reviewing your cards. Every day. This is very important. Consistency is the most powerful tool you have. If you do this every day, in about 3 to 6 months, you will have a strong foundation. You will know the most useful words in English, and you will know how to use them without thinking so much. Now, let's talk about the second part of our foundation, grammar. If words are building blocks like Lego, then grammar is the simple instruction book. It shows you how to connect the blocks. And I have great news for you. Beginner English grammar is very simple, truly. Compared to many other languages, English grammar is a gift. There are no genders for nouns. You don't have to remember if a table is male or female. The verb changes are usually simple, and the basic sentence structure is very logical. The main pattern you need to know is subject plus verb plus object. Let's look at an example. I, that's the subject, like, that's the verb. The action, coffee, that's the object. I like coffee. Subject, verb, object. Let's try another one. She, subject, reads, verb, books, object. She reads books. Easy, right? One more. We are learning English. That is what we are doing right now. This simple pattern is the key. It is the backbone of millions of English sentences. Your first grammar goal is not to master all 12 English tenses. No, please don't do that. Your first goal is to get very comfortable with this basic structure: subject, verb, object. Just focus on a few key grammar points at the start. First, the present simple, like I work or she plays. We use this for habits and facts. Second, the past simple, like I worked or she played. We use this for actions that are finished. Here you will meet some irregular verbs, like go becomes went and eat becomes ate. You just have to memorize these special ones. Third, the future tense. You can use will or going to, like I will call you, or she is going to travel. And fourth, learn how to ask basic questions. Usually, you just add a small word at the start. Words like do, does, or did. The sentence, you like coffee, becomes a question. Do you like coffee? It's simple. Please forget everything else for now. Do not worry about the present perfect continuous. That is for later. Remember our house. We must build the frame of the house first. The decorations can come later. Your strategy is to learn just enough grammar. Enough to make simple sentences. Sentences with your 1,000 core words. So your foundation is this powerful combination: 1,000 core words, learned in sentences with SRS, and a good feeling for the subject-verb-object structure. With this foundation, you will not be able to talk about philosophy. Not yet. But you can handle most daily situations. You can introduce yourself. You can ask for directions. You can describe your day. You will be able to communicate. And that, my friend, is the whole point. All right, we just covered the first 2 steps of our roadmap. And these 2 steps are so important. They can save you months of frustration, maybe even years. First, changing your mindset. Second, building your foundation. I'm curious. Which of these ideas was most interesting for you? Is it the mental change from a student to a communicator? Or is it the focused plan? The plan to master just 1,000 words and simple grammar. Please let me know in the comments below. Tell me which step you want to start first. I love reading all the comments, and I would be happy to hear your plan. Now let's get to the really fun part. Let's build the engine that will move you forward to fluency. Section 3, the input engine, your daily immersion routine. If your foundation is your set of tools, then the input engine is the machine that makes your tools grow. It works automatically every single day. Input is just a word for everything you read and listen to in English. Input is the fuel for learning a language. It is so important. There's a famous idea from a smart man. His name is Stephen Krashen. He is a linguist. His idea is called comprehensible input. The theory is actually very simple. He says we learn a language in only one way. We learn when we understand messages. It is not about studying rules. It is about feeding our brain English that we can understand. Most of it, at least. Think about it. This is how you learned your first language, when you were a baby. Nobody gave you grammar lessons. You just listened. You listened to your family. You listened to the world around you for years. Your brain is a super powerful machine. It is amazing at finding patterns. If you give your brain enough English that you can understand, it will start to figure out the rules by itself. Your brain will start to notice things. It will notice that people say, I went, not I goed. Your brain will absorb the natural music of the language, the rhythm. This is how you get a feel for English. You start to know what sounds right. But here's the important part. The input must be comprehensible. That means you have to be able to understand it. If you are a beginner and you try to watch the news about politics, your brain will just stop. It is too hard. It is just noise. You will feel frustrated and you will want to quit. The best place to be is what Krashen calls I+1. I is your current English level. +1 is a level that is just a little bit difficult, just a little bit above what you know. You should understand most of it, but there should be a few new words, a few new ideas that challenge you a little. This is the sweet spot for learning. So, how do you build an input engine? How do you get this special input every day? You need to design a daily routine. A routine with 2 kinds of learning, active learning and passive learning. Let's start with active listening. This is when you are 100% focused. You are only listening. Your only goal is to understand the message. For a beginner, this was difficult in the past. But today, it has never been easier. There are so many great tools. Here are the best things for active listening for beginners. First, podcasts and YouTube channels for learners. These are like gold for you. They are made just for you. The speakers talk slowly, they talk clearly. They use simpler words. Channels like BBC Learning English or VOA Learning English are great places to start. Many of them also give you a transcript. A transcript is the written text of what they say. This is a learning superpower. You can listen one time, then you can read the text and look up new words, then you can listen again. This is a fantastic way to learn. Second, children's shows. Yes, really. Please don't laugh. Shows for small children are amazing for beginners. Shows like Peppa Pig are perfect. The language is simple. It is repetitive. And you can always see what is happening. The pictures help you understand the words. Third, audiobooks of stories you already know. Choose a simple book, a book you have already read in your own language. Maybe a children's book or a story you love, like Harry Potter. Then, get the audiobook in English, because you already know the story. You can focus all of your brain energy on understanding the English words. Your goal should be 15 to 20 minutes of focused, active listening every day. No phone. No other distractions. Just listen. Next is passive listening. This is when you just have English playing in the background, while you do other things like cooking or cleaning or driving your car. It could be an English music radio station or a podcast that is a little too hard for you to understand actively. Will you become fluent just by doing this? No, but it helps your ear get used to the sounds of English, the rhythm, the melody. It makes the language feel less strange, less foreign. Now let's talk about the other half of your input engine. Reading. Reading is where you will learn most of your new words, your vocabulary. Reading lets you see how sentences are built. It lets you learn new words at your own speed. You can stop and think. You can use a dictionary. Just like listening, you need to find things you can understand. Here are your best choices for reading. First, graded readers. These are special books for language learners. They are written at different levels, like A1, A2, B1, and so on. They use a limited number of words, and they use simple grammar. They are perfect for building confidence. Second, bilingual story apps. Apps like Bilingual app are amazing. They show you a story in 2 languages at the same time. English on one side of the screen and your native language on the other side. This is a wonderful tool. You can try to read in English. If you get stuck, you just look at the translation. It is very helpful. Third, news for learners. Websites like News and Levels are fantastic. They take real news stories from today, and they rewrite them at 3 different levels of difficulty. You can read the same story in very simple English. Then you can try to read the next level up. It is a great way to challenge yourself. Fourth, children's stories. Again, simple stories are your friend. They are perfect for practicing your foundation. They use those common words and simple sentences you are trying to master. Try to read for about 15 to 20 minutes a day. The most important word here is consistency. Doing a little bit every day is much, much better than studying for 3 hours on a Sunday. Let's put this all together. Here's a sample. Daily immersion routine. This whole routine can take less than 1 hour. In the morning for 15 minutes, do your SRS vocabulary review while you drink your coffee or tea. During your commute for 20 minutes, actively listen to a podcast for English learners. During your lunch break for 10 minutes, read 1 short story or 1 news article on your phone. In the evening, while you are cooking dinner, passively listen to English music or a radio show. This is just an example. It is a menu of ideas. Find what works for your life. Find what you enjoy. The goal is to put English into your day. Make it a normal part of your life. You can change your phone's language to English. You can follow English-speaking people on social media. You can put little labels on things in your house. A label on the table. A label on the window. Every small piece helps. It all adds up. But input is only half of the story. To really speak, you have to use what you are learning. You have to speak. And that brings us to our final step. For many people, it is the most scary step. Section 4, the output activator, from speaking to yourself to speaking with others. This is it, the final step, the moment of truth. This step is what separates someone who is always learning from someone who is a confident speaker. Output is speaking and writing. It is how you turn all that knowledge in your brain into a real skill, a skill you can use in your life. You can know 10,000 words, but if you cannot use them when you need them, you cannot communicate. The biggest problem for almost everyone is fear. The fear of making a mistake. The fear of being judged by others. The fear of that quiet moment when you can't find the right word. This fear is real. And it is very powerful. That is why the common advice is not very good. Some people say, just go find a native speaker and talk. This is terrible advice for a beginner. It is like telling someone who has never been in a pool to jump into the deepest part. It is too much, too soon. So we will not do that. Instead, we will activate our speaking skills in stages, step by step. We will move from a zero-pressure space to a low-pressure space, and then, finally, to a real conversation, gently and safely. Phase 1. Zero-pressure speaking, talking to yourself. The first and most important step in speaking is to start speaking when no one else is around. Yes, you will talk to yourself. The goal is simple. You want to get your mouth, your tongue, and your brain used to making English sounds, used to building English sentences. It feels a little strange at first, but I promise you, it is a total game changer. It is so powerful. Here are 3 things you can do every day. First, narrate your life. This is my personal favorite activity. As you go through your day, just say what you are doing. Say it out loud in simple English. For example, I am waking up now. I am going to the kitchen. I am making coffee. I like my coffee with milk. Now I am opening my computer. It sounds very simple, maybe even silly, but you are practicing. You are forming real sentences. You are finding words in your memory, and there is zero risk. No one is listening. Second, the 1-minute topic. Each day, choose a simple topic, like my family, or my favorite movie, or what I did yesterday. Set a timer on your phone for 1 minute, just 1 minute, and talk about that topic without stopping. Do not worry about perfect grammar. Do not worry about finding the perfect word. Just keep talking. Let the words flow. Keep going until the timer makes a sound. The goal is to build forward motion, to train your brain not to stop when it's hard. Third, read aloud. Take any of the simple text you're reading, a story from a graded reader, or a news article for learners, and read it out loud for 5 minutes. This looks like a reading exercise, but it is really a speaking exercise. You are training your mouth to make the sounds. You are training your pronunciation. You are learning the rhythm of English sentences. You are building muscle memory for how words fit together. Please try to spend at least 10 minutes a day on these zero pressure exercises. This is how you build the physical skill of speaking. Phase 2, low pressure speaking. Once you feel more comfortable talking to yourself, it is time to add a listener, but not a human listener yet. In 2026, technology is an amazing friend for language learners. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is an incredible tool. It gives you a safe place to practice conversations, a place with no fear of judgment. First, AI conversation tutors. There are apps like Speak and Duolingo Max. These apps have AI conversation partners. You can have a spoken conversation with a computer. The AI will respond to you. It will ask you questions, and it can even give you instant feedback on your speaking. You can practice ordering food in a restaurant or practice for a job interview. This is an amazing way to go from talking to yourself to talking to a real person. It is a bridge. Second, pronunciation apps. Apps like Elsa Speak use AI to listen to your pronunciation. It gives you very detailed feedback. It can tell you how to move your tongue and your lips to make the sound better. This is perfect for building confidence. Confidence that other people will understand what you say. Third, language exchange apps. Apps like HelloTalk and Tandem connect you with native English speakers. They want to learn your language. You want to learn their language now. But you do not have to have a phone call right away. That can be scary. Start by sending text messages. Texting gives you time to think. You can look up words. You can check your grammar. After you feel more confident with texting, you can try sending short voice messages. Just a 10-second message. It is another gentle step forward. This phase is all about practice. Practicing the back and forth of a conversation and getting feedback in a safe, controlled way. Phase 3, real conversation, the goal. You have created a habit of talking to yourself. You have practiced with AI tools. Now, my friend, you are ready. You are ready to get in the pool with other people. You are ready for real conversations. First, online tutors. This is the single best investment you can make for your speaking skills. Websites like Italki and Cambly connect you with tutors. You can have one-on-one lessons, and it is often very affordable. A good tutor is like a coach. They create a safe and supportive space for you. They gently correct your biggest mistakes. They answer your questions. Here is my advice. Book just 30 minutes for your first lesson and send a message to the tutor before your class. You can say, "Hello, I am a beginner and I am a little nervous. For our first lesson, can we please just talk about simple topics like hobbies and family?" This takes all the pressure away. The tutor will understand and help you feel comfortable. Second, language exchange partners. After a few lessons with a tutor, you can try live conversations on an app like HelloTalk. The key is to find a regular partner, someone you can talk to often. A 5-minute chat with the same person 3 times a week is much better than a 30-minute call with a new stranger every week. You build comfort and trust with a regular partner. This makes speaking much easier and more fun. Third, community speaking groups. Many online schools offer group classes. Some are free, some are paid. These groups are great for listening to other learners. You will see that you are not the only one who struggles. You are not alone. This can make you feel very brave. Your goal should be at least 1 or 2 real conversations every week, even if they are just 15 minutes long. This is where the magic happens. This is where all your hard work comes together, all your listening, reading, and practicing. It will be scary at first. I know, but every single time you do it, the fear gets a little smaller and your confidence gets a little bigger. Part number 3, the proof, the vision for your future. We have covered the entire roadmap, the 4 steps. I know it is a lot of information. It might seem like a long journey. So I want to end our time by going back to the beginning. Let's talk about why. Why are you doing this work? I want you to close your eyes for a moment if you can, just for a second. And I want you to truly imagine your life. 1 year from now. In the year 2027. Imagine you have followed this roadmap. You made the mindset shift. You decided to be a communicator. You practiced for 20 minutes a day with your input engine. You were brave. You started speaking even when it was scary. What does your life look like now, in this future? Maybe you are on that trip. The trip you have been dreaming about. You walk into a small cafe, and you do not just point at the menu. You ask the person there, "What is your favorite pastry here?" And you understand their answer. You have a small, simple conversation. It is not a perfect conversation, but you connect with another person in their language, and you feel a beautiful wave of freedom, of independence. You did it. Or maybe you are at your job. An email arrives. It is from a client in another country. Before, you would have felt panic. You would have copied the email and put it into a translation app. But now, in this future, you just read it, and you understand it, and you write a clear, confident reply in English. Your boss notices your new skill. A new opportunity opens for you, an opportunity that was always locked behind the English language barrier. But now you have the key. Or maybe it is something simpler. Maybe you are at home. You are watching the biggest new movie of the year. And you suddenly realize something amazing. You are not reading the subtitles. You are just watching and listening and understanding. The jokes are funnier. The sad moments feel more real. You are experiencing the movie without a filter. You can finally go online and talk about the movie with fans from all over the world. My friend, this is not a fantasy. This is not just a dream. This is the real result of consistent, smart work. Learning English is not just about collecting words, it is about opening your world. It is about creating new connections with new people. It is about finding new opportunities for your life. It is about discovering new experiences. It is about becoming a more global version of yourself. The path will not always be easy. There will be days when you feel stuck. There will be days when you feel tired. On those days, I want you to remember this vision. Remember your dream. Remember that feeling of connection, that feeling of opportunity, that feeling of freedom. That is what you are working for, and it is worth it. So let's quickly remember our plan, the whole 2026 roadmap to learning English. First, the mindset shift. You are not a student. You are a communicator. Your goal is connection, not perfection. Second, the foundation. You will master the 1,000 most common words and basic sentence patterns using smart tools like SRS. Third, the input engine. You will build a daily habit of listening and reading things you enjoy. This feeds your brain the English it needs to learn. And fourth, the output activator. You will overcome your fear of speaking. You will start by talking to yourself. You will use AI tools. And then you will graduate to real, low-pressure conversations. This 4-step plan is your path. It is your map. It is not magic. It is a method, and it works. The question is no longer, what do I do? The question is, will I do it? Your journey to communicating in English starts today. It starts with one small, brave step. If this roadmap was helpful for you, and if you want more ideas to help you on your journey, please make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button. This way, you will not miss our next episode together. And for your very first action step, your first small step today, I want you to leave a comment. Tell me one small thing you will do this week for your English. Just one small promise to yourself. I would love to read it. Thank you for spending this time with me. I believe in you. 2026 is your year. Be brave, be consistent, and I promise you will amaze yourself. Now go get started. See you next time, my friend.